Hello, namaste. Good afternoon. Today, I wanted to put up a link, you'll see it in the description, to the video that Leah Remini is talking about Scientology. What happened with her there, various Sea Org members, what happened with them, how they use and abuse, how they indoctrinate people. And, again, when you get into these organizations, these cults, it seems at first that things are getting better. I mean, you do the Dianetics, you do the, you go there and you sit with something and you think you're deprogramming it. And if you sit there long enough, the charge is going to go away. But, the further and further you get into these types of things, the more outlandish they become. In Scientology, what happens is you begin auditing each other, okay? You sit there and have it audited. It seems like things are getting better in your life. But, again, they start putting in fears and they start these putting in all of these dramas. Like I said, the further and further and further you get, it's not, and understand, L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction writer, very prolific, writing books in science fiction, okay? So it's not until you get really indoctrinated into the organization, and the last point, before you become clear, you find out you have all these, alien-type implant, engrams, nonsense things happening that they say you have to get rid of. So they start to put this fear in you, that, oh my God, I've got these things and I've got to, again, it's another indoctrination that starts and the brainwashing that takes place. If somebody is in the organization, and your family members are not there, they again try to distance you from your family members. If you have been with your family members there and one of them leaves, all of a sudden you're told that you have to shun them, you can't speak with them, they're against the church, they're against, and you need to stay away from them, they're evil. Okay, so this happens with so many of these types of things. When you're in there, and this happens in many of the cults, and I have heard many times as well of Nityananda's organization as well, people get abused, will actually go out there and hit people, will keep them up working long hours, to break them down. This is another brainwashing technique. Don't let them sleep. Give them so much work. Okay? They also are very verbally abusive. Okay? Now, again, you're not going to see this in the regular satsang programs, etc. But eventually, if you stay there long enough, you will see a lot of verbal abuse, physical abuse, just like the things with the Nityananda thing with the camera that got put in his bedroom, and having this sex with these people and then trying to ruin their lives, okay? If he wants to say it's morphed, it's not morphed, okay? I've spoken with people that were actually there, that know people that put the cameras in there, okay? So I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is true, okay? 100%. So when you get somebody that's denying and doing these things, again, another cult type of a activity. But the more you watch these types of videos that speak about the underpinnings of Scientology, you'll understand how these cults work and how they start to work on people's minds and indoctrinate them into their stances and their this is the way we do things, okay? And the same thing, how they go after people, okay? If you leave or you're somebody that's speaking against it, we are going to go after you. No, again, no genuine spiritual path will send people out to go after people. Okay? They're not going to do everything they can to try to dig up some kind of dirt or something that they can find to try to discredit, make up lies, make up spins, doesn't matter. Whatever you can do to discredit them and shut them up. Okay? So all of these type of cultish organizations have a lot of the same things going on. The people are in there. They're not going to hear a word you have to say. They've been indoctrinated. They're in that mind spin. They will fight you tooth and nail. It really takes a lot to shake them out of that, because they will justify. They will justify abuses they see happening. They'll justify all these actions. So please, please take the time to watch this video on Scientology. And please go ahead and comment on this video at the end of it when you're done. But you'll see again, this is an overview, and the same type of things run through a lot of these cult type of organizations. You'll start to see a lot of similarities that happen in them. Okay? Again, when it's a cult, you'll have a personality that they put on a pedestal, such as Nityananda's, or when they had Sai Baba, or when they had Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. All of these types, Osho, all of these types, they put them up on a pedestal and worship them. When they talk, it's first thing about their leader. On a genuine path, like I say, the guru is consciousness. It's not the persona. What you're trying to link with is that consciousness, not the persona. What I am, you are at the center of being. So don't put me on some pedestal, okay? Somebody comes in, oh, Guruji, I just want to sit and worship you. There's the door, okay? There's the door. Because they're chasing a fantasy. I'm not going to give a fantasy here. What I give is a genuine spiritual path that you have to walk in order to progress, okay? I'm not interested in feeding egos and giving fantasy. That's very easy. Very easy to get a room full of people, crank up the energy, give them the rah-rah club, happy, 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 very, very easy to do that type of a thing. Very simple, okay? Being a cult leader, simple, okay? Being a genuine teacher, not so simple. Okay. But again, anyway, hey, for all of those people that have, walked this path and awoken to that bliss and oneness and had your kundalini awoken here, I'm expecting those $13,000 checks in the mail. Don't forget to send them in, okay? That's what he's charging on his latest thing that he's having now, $13,000. So again, the price just keeps going up. $6,000 for this, $13,000 for that. Oh, by the way, we have the alchemy products. If you eat the wrong thing, you can lose your whole attainment. So you have to buy these alchemy products, and they're only available during this Sadashivoham event, which is $13,000 to attend. Plus your plane fare, then plus these 20 extra alchemy products that you have to have. So you can get to enlightenment and realization. Okay, And you wonder why I want to make these videos. Really, no, I genuinely wish all the people of the planet, whether they're with Nityananda Osho, Mahesh Yogi, with Sai Baba, whoever they've been taken into by, I really wish them to gain realization, moksha, liberation, okay? Really, genuinely, I want to see that for everyone on this planet. I do not like to see deception. I do not like to see counterfeit type of spiritual experiences. I want to see them gain the genuine, real deal that brings moksha and liberation. So all we can do is to pray for them, pray for their wisdom, pray for them to wake up and come out of the bondage that they're in, and that they can move forward in their lives, okay, in a beneficial way. Because you don't have to pay for spiritual experience. Again, Scientology, another one. You pay and 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 pay. And they enslave, 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 and telling you that you're getting better, 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 better. Do we see a pattern happening here? And you're going to be happy, 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 happy. Because you surround yourself with everybody that's in that bliss mode, happy. This is all we're going to say. You know, I used to live in Seattle. Very prominent bookstore there that we go in. I'm sure that Siddhananda can relate to this because we go in there. And everybody there was, what was it? What was the teacher? Oh, Paramahamsa Yogananda. There were a lot of followers of Paramahamsa Yogananda. And you'd go in there and they're all light and love and bliss and such happiness, and we're just all so, it's. And then you hear them in the back room, nasty, 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 nasty. Viper, just spewing. But to the face, we're just in love and we're all just so overcome and it's so wonderful. Okay, no, they're not. And they're not being honest with what's there. You can't try to convince yourself of this. It's nice, you keep trying to play a part, but again, first thing on this path is honesty, integrity, transparency. Okay? If you don't want somebody to find out about it, don't do it. You have to be honest with yourself and honest with the guru as to what's actually taking place. You have to have integrity in your life. Okay? Honesty, integrity, transparency. Now you get some of those that want to come. They want to lie about the experiences they're having because they want to get those kudos. They want to be looked up to by other seekers, other things. But you can't lie about it forever. You will get found out eventually. So what happens when somebody like that comes, they get found out, then they get really nasty. Really, really nasty. And we have had that here. When they get really nasty, they leave and want to promote a bunch of negative things. Want to make a lot of lies, want to make a lot of stories, a lot of drama, okay? That happens. Thank God we don't have a lot of that on this path. We have had it, okay? As with any path, you're going to have some that come that are not going to be happy. In fact, we have a few that come that are not happy because they're in the New Age mode of wanting to just get their ego fed all the time. They want to have their ego fed all the time. And, when you're not feeding their ego, they get not too happy. So anyway, but this is not the path of ego feeding. This is the path of you have to do the work, do the practices daily, You have to be honest in that. And, you change your life yourself. If you change your life to honesty, integrity, transparency, do the own that I am, the I am that I am, okay? Balanced breath. You begin to walk forward. You will open to oneness, okay? And, if you stay in that connection, eventually also Kundalini can awaken. So that can also happen as well. So anyway, I'm going to close this video out here at the moment. But again, the more you understand about how these cults work, how these religions work that are getting people in, indoctrinating them, okay? When you see, again, ones that promote that if somebody leaves, you're going to chase them, you're going to shun them, nobody can speak to them ever again. If they leave the organization, you're not allowed, nobody's allowed to speak to them ever again. When you see these types of things happening, you see abuses happening, you see them behind the scenes. When you see in front of the camera, they're one person. Behind the camera, they're another person. This is not a genuine teacher. This is not a genuine organization. This is not someplace you want to be long term, because I guarantee it's going to turn around and bite you in the ass one day, and you'll wish to God you had left long, long, long ago. Namaste. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.